From the moment he stepped into the Discord, everyone assumed that this was Brian Hayes from EA Sports, and everybody was happy that he came. But these are the gameplay producers for Fight Night. This is the con man. They look alike, Brian Hayes and Brian Brizzle. Will Kinsler is an imposter. He's not Brian Hayes. He's bald. He's bald, but not Brian Hayes, was the gameplay director. Him and Mike Mahara for Fight Night. He figured because you're from the UK, Ash Habib that is, you would not know. Potential Mole from EA Sports, urgent concern regarding potential sabotage within the company. Dear Ash Habib, I hope this message finds you well. I'm writing to bring to your attention a matter of significant concern regarding potential sabotage within your company. After careful observation and analysis, I have become aware of certain behaviors and actions by an employee that strongly suggests deliberate attempts to undermine your organization and operation and success. Without jumping to conclusions, I believe it is imperative to investigate this matter thoroughly to safeguard the company's interests and protect your employees and stakeholders. I am prepared to provide detailed evidence and observations to support my claims and assist in any way necessary to address this issue swiftly and effectively. I understand the gravity of these allegations and the potential impact on your company reputation and integrity. Therefore, I approach this matter with the utmost discretion and respect for all parties involved. I'm available at your earliest convenience to discuss this matter further, and I provide additional information you may require. Thank you for your attention. The urgent matter. Sincerely, George D. Smith. Why university graduates don't respect boxing science and think it's subjective. The discipline of boxing does not mandate its practitioners to undergo formal education, unlike athletes in sports such as basketball or football. Consequently, boxing lacks an official academic framework. As a result, individuals with formal education often perceive boxing as primitive and uncultured, engaging in a sport devoid of scientific principles. Conversely, the boxing community, which is deeply immersed in the sport, reveres it as the sweet science. Graduates, however, regard boxing as subjective, failing to recognize the scientific underpinnings embraced by the boxing community. It is essential to acknowledge the scientific intricacies that gyms worldwide hold. Boxers receive training in unsanctioned settings, including underground facilities where children as young as 2 years old and individuals up to 19 years old learn the art of boxing. This education, while not endorsed by an established institution, is a testament to rigorous training that boxers undergo. Despite this, it remains marginalized within the intellectual discourse. As anyone, regardless of background, can access this knowledge, the disconnect is especially evident when so-called learned individuals dismiss boxing as subjective, failing to recognize its depth and nuance. In the sport of boxing, the spectrum of individuals is present, ranging from underachievers and dropouts to standouts. It is crucial to elevate the discussions around boxing, acknowledging its depth and the dedicated practitioners who engage in the sweet science, the sweet pugilism, the jab, the cross, the lead foot, hook, rear hook, lead uppercut, rear uppercut. There are 12 punches, and you have to learn these punches the same way you learn pre-kindergarten, first grade, second grade, and fourth grade, and so on. Please bear with me, as I may not have a formal education, however, I possess an IQ of 133. With a significant talent in boxing and boxing video games, following my parents' divorce, I resided on the Air Force base before relocating to the ghetto to live with my grandmother. I ask for your patience and strive to do my best despite these challenges. Thank you. The EA Sports Mole, Salam Alaikum. Will Kinsler, who has been the community moderator at EA Sports for most of his career, showcases his expertise in communication and skilled communicators, often possess the trait of adept manipulators. Referred to a comprehensive description of Will's professional backgrounds provided by the previous colleagues. It is evident that Will's lies in engaging with game game players rather than shaping the gameplay itself. Surprising, he holds the position of gameplay director at Steel City. Upon reviewing, one may question how Will transited from overseeing a community to influence the gameplay of the entire game, a feat that seems achievable only by a skilled manipulator. Armed with extensive community moderator knowledge, Will understands that gameplay director determines the game's content. Thus, he recognizes that securing the gameplay director role would grant him control over the game's direction. Consequently, he influences Ash to appoint him as gameplay director, delve into for a detailed account of how he steers the game, molding it into his vision rather than adhering to Ash's realistic game concept. This is a long read. Please read everything, but I'm going to do it for you. Perhaps you missed the details about his character. He talks about boxing history, not boxing. Technique inside the ring, knowing what goes on in the ring is gameplay, and I'm hated for it. Here's one of his colleagues. He's very vocal and creates the round table over talking Ash BCO. He's an expert communicator, meaning he can manipulate at a high level and you guys can't see it. See here it says he is an expert. He is an expert at He's an expert communicator. You see that? The compliance of authenticity standards, as you can see for yourself. Here, pause the video. That is what authenticity plays. The director of product authenticity plays a crucial role in safeguarding the integrity of the company's product, thereby protecting the brand and ensuring customer trust. These are all his positions in gaming at Steel City. First, he started director of global communications, then gameplay director, and director of product authenticity. This is his expertise. You don't think it's too much power in your company, Ash? Director, director, director. All I see is control, control, control. Here's Rackzilla talking about, which is Will Kinsler. MMA is one of those games I can take or leave. I like the old EA game, which is the MMA game, which at the same time, Undisputed MMA was out, and he preferred the more arcadey game. Notice when he used a reference, he used EA MMA, not EA Fight Night. It's a fair point. Not everyone appreciates the nuance of a ground game. It's tougher for the average person to understand. You see that? He feels that a realistic boxing game or a realistic game altogether is just too much. He's an expert communicator, expert manipulator. Why is he going against the system you already had in place? He likes simple button presses. This is an EA Sports format. The round table. When he joined, went from gameplay videos to discussions, videos more than boxing technique and gameplay, because that's where he shined, which is what he is, a community mod. You remember this? When he got hired, things changed. He didn't understand this. That's why he removed it. 3 points to the head, 3 points to the body, which gave the game more depth. Manual blocking is not supposed to have a health block meter. Gamers with block break. It's up to the player to protect these openings in posture defense, skill based. Players would have to pick their own shots instead of spamming with Roy Jones. Ethan Bruins removed me from the leaderboard. Check it, skip it. 242 to 261. All they do at top range is throw power hooks to the body, and it's unblockable. The power jab drains your health, then hit with a hook, and now you're in KO moment, which we're now into the actual game. He only picks out what the community says that he agrees with. Boxers sales. How to get gamers to buy boxes they don't know. They only will pick the high-rated boxes. You need a skill gap, remedy this, remove block health. That way, it's about skill of landed punches. It's the gamers who's fighting with Sugar Ray Robinson, not Sugar Ray Robinson himself. How are you going to sell to gamers who don't watch boxing if you don't implement this? The 2K of boxing, just because you have Steph Curry don't mean you're going have to know how to shoot with him, and having manual defense will make this more skill-based. He's not a boxer. He's a control freak. He's an expert at controlling people. Will Kinsler's world, which is the gaming world at E3, master communicator, moderator, give him the biggest job in his whole career, but now you can afford better. There's a breakdown of actual analytical data of Will Kinsler and what he's good at: communication, leadership, and interpersonal. He's not even creative. Nobody's my world, which I've been here. Nobody's playing ranked because people are making their own leaderboards instead of quick match, calling it sparring with headgear. Real boxing fans, and this is not subjective, they should go here and promote the game to these people. Which you can see there's a lot of military people there too with their kids. Start undisputed rank with 4-rounders, 6-rounders, 8-round, 10-round, and 12-round championship fights, just like real boxing, right? He controls all the community moderators. He's using them as leverage. Why would you invest so much in creating a sim game only to simplify it? It's nonsense. That's the governing bodies don't want to glorify violence. Boxing is inherently violent. So Will is lying in order to create his own game. All these guys here have over 100,000 subscribers. He controls the narrative. Remember this, it started as a joke with Will taking charge of the fighter announcer, but end up with him hijacking the entire video. Hold up, Will, take my job. He knows Will was taking over, but would not say anything because they both from the United States. The United States team, Fanatico, Jay Ship, Will Kinsler, and Ty Grisham. Remember, guys, the United Kingdom gave us a boxing game. The US only was promoting the MMA. Remember when the content creator event told you not to show us the creator mode, the open gym? We was gonna have an open gym, guy. This is him messaging me. Hey, I know Rack has messaged you already, talking to me, but I just thought I'd drop you a courtesy message to see if we can't get things sorted out before we have to start removing people. All I'm talking about in the Discord is boxing. From the Discord, we don't need to know your boxing experience. We don't need to see arguments all the time. It's a video game. And our designs will try to balance the core vision of realistic boxing with the fact that it's still a video game. No one you're arguing with or belittling, say I'm belittling people telling me they've never been in a boxing gym before. If I was a doctor and this was a doctor's form and I say, hey, did you get your medical degree? Are you a doctor? And they're like, get all butt hurt. You see? Belittling by questioning their real life boxing experience. Why not? Has any say in design decisions? I suggest you block study. That's what me and study was going at because I beat Boxer Fanatical 5 times in a row. Who I will also be having a word with. And tone it down in the discussion channel. A good rule of thumb, put your suggestions in suggestions once. He missed the block here. This is when Will Kinsler was playing Fanatical in 2022. They were both playing the game. He missed the block and got hit. He was trying out manual blocking, but he couldn't do it. Plus, it was my idea, and I know how it's supposed to be used. But his plan was to be the gameplay director. I sounded like that was I wanted. That's what I wanted, but I was just sharing knowledge. This is Kinsler playing as Kell Brook, trying to implement Emmanuel blocking. Remember the hook spam with Ali after January 31st? The posture was all you had to do to stop it. No need to slow down the punches, was just to put your left hand up. You know what? Nobody listened to me. They changed the whole game. And this lands on the arm and the chest and lands on the body. Punch also drains health bar. They spam it and it glitches through, but this is not even the liver, which is why your original system was way better than the critical. Your original system was way better with critical zones. Ash, shaking my head. The previous system involved manual blocking, which Will did not want in the game. His reason was that Game was only throwing a select punch, which didn't align with his vision of 60 punches in the game. Now our players only need to focus on 2 areas, the head and the body, instead of different regions. Gamers have adapted to Undisputed. Aren't they still throwing the same overhand right, which is 1 button? The initial complaints were premature since they were not accustomed to a game like this. Reintroducing complex systems would likely be received by the players. It's important to keep in mind that Will prefers simplicity over complexity. As evident on my interactions on this Discord, I have garnered popularity for my profound understanding of the intricacies within the green, my insights and enriched practical experience. This is Will before he got close to you, Ash. You didn't know he felt this way and doesn't like complexity, or maybe you did. He dislikes simulation boxing game because he feels it demands too much time. Simplifying the game could be the solution. Isn't this the direction your game is heading towards? This is Will trying to learn manual block, but he can't do it. Critical zones, which JMMA thinks they don't have vulnerability, but in this game was called critical zones, right? So people that don't follow this game don't know about critical zones, where you got the temple, the chin, liver, ribs, and behind the ear critical zones, right? Whereas when you throw a certain punch, that punch is pretty much geared at that particular critical zone, right? Then he came and changed the health meter, right, to head and body, which is more like Street Fighter, right? In boxing, you can punch yourself out 39%. This is talking about the adrenaline system, right? Depending on the boxers, let's take Sugar Ray Robinson. His punches can deplete this in 4 landed punches, right? Deplete your health bar. Now he does this affect health regeneration, help recover fights, don't even last long, enough of this to even matter, and it's worse at heavyweight. That was the old system, right? But he does not like complexity. So let me scroll down a little bit because we're in the new system of the game and find things that match, right? Block break help in fighting games. The damage system was made for manual blocking. Definitely wouldn't be interested in playing. Ash likes to play Dark Souls, if you guys didn't know that, right? The game is now reminiscent of Street Fighter, up and down guessing game, element physics-based blocking, which I was totally against, right? And he finally got it in the game. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Damage and stamina. So basically it's just 1 health bar, right? Randomness, he wasn't there with the company when they created the damage system, right? So he started talking about his randomness because he didn't pay attention, right? So let me scroll down. I'm gonna go here and talk about this, the traits which nobody talks about, right? So you guys can press pause and go over this and read this, right? You can read this about the trait system. You will see that nobody talks about the trait system in Undisputed, right? And here are some ideas I gave him, right? Which they stole the icons that they put here on Undisputed that they got from UFC 5, right? Right? He blatantly copied this concept from UFC 5, EA Sports, with the icons displayed on the screen. He lacks creativity, unlike you, in undermining your original ideas. If he came to help you, then why is he not supporting your ideas and replacing it with EA Sports ideas? Right? This is a lot of conversations that we had in the Discord that I just want to put up here to show you. Aimbot said to me one time that nobody in the studio really likes boxing. And he sent me a message and we was talking back and forth before I became the enemy. And this is why I made this declaration, which skyrocketed in the Discord, where I said button mashers is over for you. Plus this is hardcore. This is for hardcore boxers, right? You can read that. And then they would come back and make fun of me. And then Will would say mashed potatoes is over for you. So if you want arcade style potatoes, go to McDonald's, Burger King, Arby's, Chick-fil-A. This for hardcore food fans, the sweet potatoes. Learn to taste or starve. Make your wrong decision, pay with your face and lips and your tongue, your taste buds and even your whole mouth. So get ready for the most realistic meal ever made with realistic. I wrote this, right? But they started writing it and making, and this is what he wrote, right? TP, right? Shit posters talking about me. It's over for you. This is for hardcore Discord members. So if you want an arcade style chatting, go to Reddit, Steam Forum, Steam Forum, Facebook. This for hardcore Discord posts. The sweet server. Learn the rules or get banned. Talking to me, right? Making wrong decisions, pay with your account, your chin, your temple, and even your liver. So get ready for the most realistic Discord server ever made with realistic banning from marquee moderators. So all won't ban the same. ESBC, thank you for all your hard work. Yours truly, TP. If they have manual banning, I'll be in the top 100 or number 1. Copying me, right? From what I wrote this declaration, right? Which was like really disrespectful, right? Telling me I don't like you. Here's a shocker for you. Only 1 out of 5 programmers likes boxing. That's Ethan Bruins, right? The lead coder at the thing. This is me when I sent it, the manual blocking October 12, 2020, right? This is me, right? This is the video where they had open gyms, right? And he stopped this from happening. I'm going to end this video at page 26.